concerns me a great deal that we're going to, after 50 years, decide a woman does not have a right to choose. If this decision holds, it's really quite a radical decision.
I'm just shocked and appalled. I just wondered at what point our country became a country where people's voices weren't heard anymore. The majority of Americans are for pro-choice.
Abortion is violence! Abortion is...
Why you feel that way?
Well, as the sign says, abortion is murder, and I feel that way, period.
If it goes in the direction that this leaked copy has indicated, it rocks my confidence in the court right now.
There are criminal laws on the books in Arizona that will automatically go into effect to ban abortions if Roe is overturned.
My body, my choice! My body, my choice! My body, my choice!
It's divided the nation. Arizonans are joining people around the country protesting and celebrating a leaked draft opinion from the Supreme Court that suggests Roe v. Wade be overturned.
This was the scene outside our state capitol earlier this evening before sunset. Chief Justice John Roberts has ordered an investigation into the leak of this draft. Roberts confirms the document's authenticity, but stresses this is not a final decision. In fact, as always, the Supreme Court expected to make this issue final, or issue that final ruling by sometime in June or July. And if Roe v. Wade is overturned, it could have an immediate impact on several states, including Arizona. In fact, all of these states, abortion will likely be banned if this draft becomes the official court ruling. Well, tonight, the president says the opinion could have other impacts as well.
It would mean that every other decision relating to the notion of privacy is thrown into question.
Again, Chief Justice John Roberts expressing dismay at the leak, calling it a betrayal, which he vows will be investigated.
More than 1,000 people gathering at the Capitol tonight, most of them pro-choice, looking to express their concerns about the possibility of Roe v. Wade being overturned. There was also a smaller group of pro-life protesters. Our Amy Cutler live at the Capitol. And Amy, there have been some clashes in the last hour?
Yeah, there certainly have, Jamie. But first, I want to show you where protesters are right now. There are still several hundred of them strong. They've just moved from the park over back to the state capitol. We've got police out here blocking the road, but they continue to chant and make their voices heard. And we have seen some clashes. At least 3 protesters getting involved in some kind of fist fight, which troopers then quickly broke up. We want to show you some video of 3 of them being taken into custody. Troopers, again, quick to respond and quash things. DPS tells me that 2 of them have been charged, one with aggravated assault, another with disorderly conduct. A group of pro-choice protesters started gathering around 6 tonight. This sprang up on social media. Those who turned out say that they are concerned about what overturning Roe versus Wade would mean for women and their reproductive rights. I spoke with one woman who tells me her grandmother had an abortion back in the 1940s when she came down with tuberculosis.
If she has the baby's going to die and the pregnancy will kill her. The Catholic hospital let my grandfather take my grandmother to terminate the pregnancy, and because he was a physician in LA, he knew which providers would provide an abortion for her, even though it was illegal at the time.
It means that the women that I know that have suffered from abortion because of the physical and emotional harms may not have an abortion, that will be able to take care of women better, that will be able to save the lives of those unborn children.
Now, this is a look at another confrontation between pro-choice and pro-life protesters tonight. For the most part, they have kept their distance from one another. Pro-life advocates celebrating this development. Now, if the Supreme Court were to overturn Roe v. Wade, abortions would become illegal in our state, would likely become illegal in our state. Doctors who perform them could face prison time. Again, protesters out here, several hundred of them remaining out here, continuing to make their voices heard. I also had the chance to speak with a nurse at one of these centers that provides abortions. You're going to hear from her on why it was so important for her to be out here coming up at 10 o'clock. For now, we are live in Phoenix. Amy Cutler, Arizona's Family.
Intense night at the Capitol. Amy, thank you for that update.